I'm proud to be American. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm proud to be American, man. And why I'm proud to be American? Because, number one, my ancestors have been here for hundreds of years. And just on paper, at least 500 years in the country, our family is documented. If you're a black American and you've been documented that long, you do have indigenous blood in you, because of basically the mixing of brown people and black people. Basically, when you had to, for instance, I have Cherokee. My great-great-grandmother was full-blood Cherokee. My great-great-granddad was a Blackfoot Indian on my mother's side. So the thing about it is that, people come here and talk all this stuff about, oh, y'all don't know who y'all are, and y'all ashamed of being black. No, I love being black. We love being black. We just aren't African. And so all these Afrocentric black people who were saying, oh yeah, y'all don't know who y'all are, and y'all just ashamed of being black. No, ain't no shame of being black. The truth is this. All the Afrocentric people who be talking all this stuff about Africa and they be having the Uhuru and all these African names, wearing dashikis, they born and raised in America. A lot of them would never move to Africa. You got people like Omar Johnson, talks African, you got an African birthright, and we're Africans and this and that, but he won't leave the country. Think about it, man. If you so Afrocentric, and I'll be real, man, if you're very Afrocentric about being African, you should move to Africa. You shouldn't stay in the Americas. If you feel that Africa is the homeland for us and the motherland and this is Babylon that's going to fall, well, leave. I ain't going to lie to you, I'm proud of being American. I'll tell you the reason why I'm proud of being American, because everybody who's trying to come to this country, they're coming here because their country won't pay them enough. Their country ain't taking care of them. Yeah, they'll have their flags in the window. They have Jamaican flags in the window and they Puerto Rican flags in the window and their cars and stuff. But they are fighting to stay here because they know they can make money here. They know it's better for them opportunity-wise. Think about it, man. How many Africans have you met? I got a lot of African friends. And none of my African friends, they're trying to go back to Africa. Let me tell you why. Because a lot of them came here during times of war where they were actually, a lot of them were trying to, the countries were trying to put them to fight as kid soldiers, and their family had to escape from Africa. Liberia, Kenya, Somalia. These kids are adults now. They were coming here through times of war in Africa where they had to escape from being, for them being put in as being kid soldiers in the countries to fight for the countries. You would never see the U.S. make young kids fight. You would never see the U.S. make little 13 to 14-year-olds be soldiers for the military. We have options. You don't understand, as Americans in the United States, we have options. We're able to work abroad. We're able to have investments. Like, there's a lot more information to get ahead. So as an American, a lot of times you can travel other places, no matter what color you are. The thing about this is this. If you really are so Afrocentric, why don't the Afrocentric guys ever move to Africa and just leave? If it's so bad, you see all these people making comments, oh, you just ashamed of being black. No, I'm not ashamed of being black. There's black people out there that ain't even African, like Papua New Guinea, the Aboriginals in Australia, the Tertiary Islanders in the Pacific. Most of the Pacific Islander people that are melanated, they're not African descent. They are Asian descent. They're black Asians. And see, black people think this. Everybody just came from. Well, everybody thinks that black people just came from Africa. Nah, bro. The Negroes in the Philippines. You have them in Indonesia. You have them in Thailand. So there's a lot of black people around the world that are not African. But the thing about it, the Afrocentric black people here, who are black American, born and raised in this country, who are pro-African, a lot of them don't even leave the country. But they'll talk all this bad stuff about America, but they won't leave it because they know the benefits of it. You know, if you really are pro-African, you should move to Africa, and you shouldn't come back. And it's not in a bad way. If you really believe that Africa is it, you should leave and you should go there and live there. You should. Your country is willing to take your young kids and turn them into soldiers, and then you wonder why Africans don't want to go back. Think about it. I've had people who had relatives who got deported back to Africa, and they still trying to fight to come back. That lets you know something. I got Liberian homeboys who had people who got deported, Kenyans. I was watching the thing on this dude from Cape Verde. He got deported, He got in some trouble, got deported back to Cape Verde. For 10 years, he's been trying to get back to the U.S. So family has been sending him money to keep him alive because he said the opportunity ain't like it is in America. So you could talk about America and how bad it is, but man, the United States is where everybody's trying to come to because the United States pays. Now, United States, we do complain about, us being citizens, born here. Yeah, we complain about everything. Oh yeah, it's expensive and cost of living is too much. But if you had the mind of an immigrant, like I have the mind of an immigrant, I don't have a problem with me and a couple of friends getting together like the immigrants do and share a place together, all stacking money. That's what they do. But think about it. Even Farrakhan, even got the Nation of Islam, they still talk about the white man and this and that. They're not leaving though. They ain't gonna leave. You're not gonna leave this opportunity. They talking about, oh yeah, people been saying the U.S. gonna pay for what they did. The U.S. been doing the same thing for over 500 years since they've been here, since the Europeans been here ruling the place. And it's always been a place where they make it where you want to come here and live and work because they know they can get their families ahead. I mean, look at the amount of people that come over the border just to come into the United States so they can be able to get money, be able to live, have they consider a more safer life. And you think I'm not going to be proud of being an American? Because a lot of times black American people will clown other black Americans for being proud of being American and having an American flag in your car. Oh, they'll clown you. Oh, yeah, you a patriot? Yeah, I'm a patriot. This is my land. This is where I came from. My people are from this country. I'm indigenous to the land, number one. And then on top of that, man, the black people in other places, they come here, they talk down on us, but you're running from your country that won't take care of you. You're in this country because they won't give you enough to be able to survive, but then you come here and try to downgrade us, not understanding if it weren't for black Americans, you wouldn't have none of the benefits you have now. Do you know that the black Americans, the things we stood up for, our people had to fight, and there were other people that got in there in the fight with us, and those laws changed because of our economical power. We probably don't believe it, but our buying economical power keep this country moving. They had to give us rights to vote. They had to give us bank loans. 60 years ago, I couldn't get a bank loan. My parents, by the time my mom was 21 years old, her and my dad had their first house. By their second house, my mother still wasn't 30, and they already owned their second home. But imagine if you didn't have a civil rights movement, and the laws would have been changed, we still would have been not able to get bank loans, not able to put our money into the banks. Now you got to learn the economical system because now we're able to have advantages of the economical system. The U.S. has given black Americans, now we have the advantages. So there's no excuse of being broke. There's no excuse of not having anything because guess what? If the United States didn't change these laws, we wouldn't be able to get what we get now. So yeah, I'm a proud American. I would never leave this place. If I do leave, it'll be for a second home, but I ain't gonna lie, I always wanted the kids that wanted to leave too. I got tired of seeing stuff going on, and then I started traveling the world and living in other countries. And then you over in this country complain about running, and then you run to somebody that, I went to Indonesia, for instance. I went to Indonesia. I left the United States. I wanted to leave. I didn't want to come back. I got tired of seeing my people get dogged out. I got tired of seeing the condition, not understanding. All I had to do was change my mindset and change the things that I do, work on my credit, build my wealth up by having good credit and basically being responsible, understand how the banking system works here. So I'm in Indonesia talking to this young guy, and he's like, yeah, man, I always wanted to go to the U.S. Every time I go to a country, they always tell me how they want to come to the U.S. and work. They want to come to the U.S. and get a better life. You talk to people in Asia, in Thailand, I talk to Vietnamese people, they tell you the same thing. So if they're telling you that they desire is to come to the U.S. to work and you're running from it, doesn't that tell you something? I mean, yeah, we got our problems, don't get me wrong. We know there's still racism. As long as you're dark skinned, people, for some reason, racism is going to be here for a while because mostly people have a problem with dark skinned people. I don't know why, but at the end of the day, I'm a proud American. I serve my country. I ain't gonna lie, man. I was like, when I got out, I was happy to get out. But I told myself I would get an honorable discharge. I would not do anything to mess up. I didn't even like it, but I didn't do anything to mess up. And I got out with an honorable discharge. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. With me, and my mom kept telling me, you got to go down there and get your benefits. Son, you got money. You got hurt in there. I only served 4 years. I finally, after 27 years, I applied for my disability. I started at 10%. I'm at 70% now. I get a check from the military every month. I get a nice amount of money every month from the military. And I'm still getting higher percentages because I served the country. I had things that happen to me. They are taking care of the veterans now, and I'm benefiting off what I put in, the work I put in as a military person. I'm actually reaping the benefits. I don't pay medical. My medical's free now. I don't pay no medical bills. All my medical is covered. And I can go to the hospital whenever I want if anything goes wrong with me. Now, I am a naturalist. I do my stuff more herbally. But if you are a person that gets pharmaceuticals, whatever, it's all included. I served the country, and I'm happy that I did. I don't talk bad about it. I mean, every country has its good and bad. That's why there's a lot of people come from other countries that live here, because the advantages in the United States are a lot greater. And then people always praising that, oh yeah, Babylon is going to fall. Bro, if this fall, everybody's money going to fall. You don't want this to fall, because if it does fall, it's going to affect everybody. People are coming up because they know the advantages. A lot of countries have already fallen. Venezuela fell. The whole entire country bankrupt. They got the biggest oil reserves in the world, one of the biggest oil reserves in the world. Country, same as Nigeria. Biggest oil reserve in the world is always somebody European or Asian running their country. So a lot of the African countries, even though a lot of these countries are still independent on paper, they still have a lot of influence being controlled by the Europeans and the Asians. You can't get mad. The U.S. has so many accessible things that you can take advantage of as a U.S. citizen. So you might not like the system. You might be mad at some of the things that happen. I'm the same way. But I love this country. Out of any place I lived in, I ain't gonna lie, man. If I move overseas, because I want to, but the conditions of other places, and then some of the laws and some of the benefits you have here, you just can't get overseas. Being a U.S. citizen, you can fall off in a whole nother country. You can come back and get right back on your feet. Say you go overseas and you fall off. You try to move out of the country and things fall off. One thing good about the U.S., you can come right back and get assistance. You can get food stamps. You can go to a food bank and get food. You can come right back to this country and get right back on your feet. So you think I'm gonna say I don't love America, and then I don't care if nobody criticize me because I'm a black man saying I love America. I love the United States. This is the country I'm from. This is where I'm from. My ancestors are buried on this land for over 400 or 500 years, just on paper. Not even consider the relatives that were here before the slave trade. So I'm a proud American. I'm proud of it. I will always be proud of my country, no matter what we go through, because we made it through a whole lot. I deserve to get what I want. I deserve to get the benefits that I get from the military and from the country itself. And I'm a proud American. And if you like my video, please like, share, and subscribe. It's your boy, AJ the Black Road Traveler. I'm out.